Good morning, and welcome to Wednesday. How are you this morning? This is Delenn Russell, and we are on the Thatcraft 73 server. We're on the Java server, and I'm just hanging out in this little room because I was AFK last night looking for some some iron for the farm. So, today is going to... I guess I'm going to have a microphone in my face today, apparently. Better? Okay, better. It may or may not pop in and out of the screen. We'll have to see how the volume goes. So my AFK was absolutely terrible last night. That's okay. It's better than a kick in the pants because we don't really need all this iron at the moment. So yeah, farm could be better, a lot better.
Hello.
Hello. It does what I need it to do. Good morning, Benson. How are you this morning? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I haven't had a whole lot of chance to touch base, so I'm pleased to see my friends. And I might say hello a second time just because I have just reset the welcomes. I think I forgot to do that before I started. There we go. Okay. Rockadoodle. Let's go. All right. Now, I think we've got everybody chit-chatting in this morning. Or not chit-chat, sorry, I'm connected in this morning. We cross our fingers. So you can see there's just been a little bit of a change. Hello. There we go. Looking for caffeine, woke up about 30 minutes ago. In all honesty, you're only about 45 minutes ahead of me. Or I should say behind me. I think today. So you can see there's been a little bit of a change. I got rid of our golems because we actually got ourselves up to 8, which is a little crowded for golems just generically walking around. So yeah, I got rid of our buddies and tried to make them not come back, but over the course of today, we probably will see a few pop up because I need to mess around with what we've got placed all over the place. So yeah, that's part of it. So today's plan, other change. So yesterday we got most of this roof on, but we did not get the outer lip, so that's there. And you'll see all the little buttons that were above the doors have been removed because when I put the slab on, of course, there's no room for the button. That's fine because we don't really need it. And there's the one up top that I had left open. Where am I? I think. Okay, yeah. So the other thing, of course, as I say, we've pathed everything, and I have widened out the towers and squared them off. I think that looks a little bit better. The other ones were kind of very stereotypical and not period relative. So I changed that up. That's about the size of it. Let's just take a quick look up and see how things are looking. Okay, so we still have the inner keep being all cobble. I have to change that eventually, but because it works, I'm just going to leave it. The advantage to changing it up, though, and making it taller than the towers is I get one more layer on, so I may have 1 or 2 more golems once in a blue moon. We'll see how well that works. But we have ourselves a little gate, micro one on this side. We're going to take out the ladders and put in a draw plank, more or less. And then on this side, we have our main gatehouses. There we go. And they need to have a bridge, so we need to get that going as well. That's the major part of it. As I go around, I'm like noticing the odd torch here and there that I want to get rid of. But other than that, I think we're good. We're going to tear out the stable, tear out the pen, pardon me, move the horses, and probably move the bees. While I love having them inside, unfortunately it's very inconvenient longer term, and I really don't want to accidentally hit them, because I've done that twice and managed to run away. Good afternoon, Darby! It is, yeah, I guess it's afternoon for you. It's still 10 in the morning, or just past 10 in the morning for me, but it's great to see you could make it. So just giving people a quick look at the outside of the castle. So we've got the roof on and the, I guess, bird protection, maybe, with buttons and everything. Even though it's not really realistic, but sure. 11 in the morning. Okay, good. Yeah, the castle has changed a little bit. So today we need to put in the bridges, and then I know you guys are getting sick and tired of walls, so I'm going to hold off on the inner Bailey wall. We have one more tower to put in. We'll see if we get that part done, because we're going to do the outer 2 bridges first. then we'll put in the stable, and then we're going to take a look at the inner bridge and inner Bailey Tower. All right, and good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. What I'm actually doing here is I'm just taking a quick scout after looking at that to see where I want to plunk the bee. Maybe I just try to decide, because if I want to take this tower, if I want to take this hill down later, I don't want to disturb the bees. So maybe, what I think I might do actually is just take the bees and move them over here, just beyond render range. There's a tree already there with a beehive already on it, and it's just working on the farms. Like, it just happened to be convenient for that. So I think I'll build myself a way of moving the beehive. Cross my fingers I can do it without dying, and then get that beehive shifted outside of the castle. Alright, so that's where we start. So I'll address the title elephant in the room, just so that it's done. Today, at least in Canada, I don't know if it is elsewhere, but today is Pink Shirt Day. What that basically means is people wear pink shirts in support of the idea of non-bullying. So being incredibly inclusive to basically anybody and everybody. It's like the idea of spreading kindness. Now, while I recognize I try to keep this channel a relatively safe space, I also am very willing to be upfront that I do not correctly understand all the ins and outs of the various what do you say? I would say non-binary groups. That's probably not the best way of putting it, but I don't understand that, nor do I understand a whole lot of racial issues people go through. So I'm doing my best to be open, but I don't always understand how things go. Well, I mean, I also want to expand that to, skin tones or religious beliefs or whatever it is. I try to be as open and friendly as I can, but I don't always understand it. So I will make mistakes. But yeah, so Pink Shirt Day is sort of anti-bullying in all communities. Our kids are wearing pink shirts to school. The school reminded us that February 22nd is Pink Shirt Day. So yeah, that's part of it. The other piece to go with
Hello
that,
there.
which is not related in the slightest, Pink Sheep Day. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I need to make one pink and call it bubblegum or something like that. Anyway, I need logs for that. Okay, and sticks. But to go with that, it just so happens that it also is in the scouting world Founders Day, which means that it's just the birthday of the Baden-Powells. So Robert Baden-Powell, who started scouting internationally, it was his birthday today, and conveniently it just so happens it also ended up being his wife's birthday, Olive Baden-Powell. She was she's acknowledged as the mother of scouting, of guiding, but technically it's actually his sister, good grief, Agnes Baden-Powell. And yeah, so it just so happens it's birthday for both of them, so scouting and guiding have called it Founders Day. That's really all there is to that one. In the offline world, I would wear my scout necker, scout scarf, etc. That's interesting. However, I will not do that online just because one thing to have a face cam, but it's another thing entirely to let myself be that identifiable. So yeah, not gonna happen. The other part of it is that some of the scouts I work with in my son's troop are familiar with the fact that I stream, and I really
hello there.
them figuring out exactly what channel it is, because that could kind of cause all kinds of headaches. Good morning, Neon. Actually, Neon, you gave me a bit of a start this morning accidentally. I don't know where I left my OBS yesterday open, and so the chat will follow me when my account goes to watch various different other streams. So when I get caught up in other raids from other places, so when I get caught up in those raids from other places, then it happens that distraction. It happens that my OBS chat will follow as well. So I came in this morning and I saw, thankfully, was not sitting on my own chat. I don't know whose I was sitting on, but anyways, all it said on the screen was from Neon Traveler at like 1:15 in the morning. It said Swanky Raid. I'm like, uh-oh. What did I miss? So yeah, it was interesting. Okay. So if I did this wrong, we're gonna have bees on our backside all angry at us. If I did this right, we can move the nest. Let's see, do I have? I think. Okay, let's try this and see what happens. They don't particularly relish being dead, but you know, my spawn is just over with the villagers, so it's not a huge deal. It's just a pain. Excellent. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. That means I can pick this up. There we go. Okay, good. I don't usually deal with bees. Like, once I get the smoking system set, that's it. You know, I just let it go, and that's that. So when we get back, I'm dropping this one off, then I'll take down that tree. But probably not a bad idea to stick around just long enough to have a bit of a nap on screen, and then we'll get ourselves going on the tomorrow of Minecraft. Alright. Ed's too far away with that. You can only sleep at... Yes, I know. So for those of you that watch the mini-map in the corner, if it's not too tiny for you, it tends to let me sleep at about 6:30, and we were only looking at about 25 after, so it's a couple more seconds here. But one of the reasons I watched that little clock in the corner, and the text is small for you guys, but one of the reasons I watch it is because if we're getting a bunch of lag, I actually see the amount of the timing there. It'll either stop moving or it will bounce up and down. And it's actually bouncing a fair bit this morning, but not too far. It's only about 1 or 2 sort of Minecraft minutes, so a few seconds every once in a while. But it's weird how it bounces up and then down and then back up again. So we'll hopefully not get caught in too much a sticky spot today. No bad puns intended after the bees. But yeah, so here's another naturally spawned beehive, and I'm just going to put these two together and let them do their thing. I don't particularly need them right now. This is a big deep hole that I don't want to fall in. Yes, but it's not enough to bring me baddies, so that's okay. Alright. Hey beehive, you can sit up here. Have fun. Suppose I could harvest that one of those while I'm here moments. Do I care? Not particularly, not yet. Actually, I probably should. Only because we're going to, after we get buildings built, we're going to need some more villagers, so I should probably start collecting carrots when I can. Oh, nope, forgot. Wrong game. I'm spoiled. I haven't been playing Vault Hunters on stream, nor have I been playing it privately. But I've been playing Vault Hunters privately, pre-vault section, with my kids on some of the weekends. And where I say I'm spoiled is in Vault Hunters pack, the way they've got it set up, not only does your hoe harvest your veg for you, it does a harvest and replant all in one motion, which is beautiful. But it also, if you use your hoe, you can harvest a 3x3 patch all at once. Whereas if you just right click with your hand, you still get the replant, but it only harvests one single spot. So I consider that spoiled, and sometimes I forget that I actually have to harvest this one manually. Like as in, do all the replant and such after I've beat up everything. I know I should probably come at this with the fortune tool, particularly for the potatoes, but one of those I can't be bothered items. I don't have a fortune villager yet, so that's part of it. I don't even think I have a looting villager yet. Basic, I went with the absolute minimum to get me some mending and some unbreaking and some silk touch, and that's pretty much where I called it. I think I got some knockback or something for a bow that way, but just pure luck as opposed to anything else. So though I'll probably be using this door quite a lot, possibly even the most, we're going to be making the front door be the main double part of the castle. Go. As you can tell, I still have my extreme sound muffler quality of life item turned on, so this is why we're not hearing them all go "Hurr." But I did you'll still hear the clickety of them renewing, and it doesn't sound all that loud right now as well because they're either missing out on the thumps that we used to have from the golems. Get out of the road. I just realized I'm back here, but I should have, while I was out there, grabbed some oak wood, because that was the plan for the drawbridges to be oak. But, you know, best laid plans of mice and men and all that jazz. What do we have? 4. Well, that's not going to get us very far. Spruce might work for trapdoors. Start. This away. Stickers, you are noisy. Right. I'm thinking of something and I can't even remember what I was thinking of. Those are despawn. Okay, great. I want to trapdoors at least for the plank portion, and I like the closed ones of spruce in this case, so we're going to go with that. Okay, what do we need? Today's question of the day is, what would you want your last meal to be if you knew you were going to die afterwards? Wow, that's dark. Wow. Let's assume that you were, for argument purposes, we're going to die of old age. That probably makes sense. Sure. Because other options are just way too dark for my taste at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to start with the back bridge from this side. Just because it works for me. How's that? Good enough reason. Start going. Oh, going this way. It really doesn't matter, does it? These trapdoors will be trapdoors. Ladder, you are in the way. Oh, tough call. The initial was a perfectly cooked for me steak with all the trimmings. Okay, so I'll follow that up with, what do you like to put on your steak? And I guess one could take that also to ask, and how do you like your steak? We're going into a conversation about steak. I like mine medium well. However, that's medium well American, medium Canadian. Now the reason I say that is because it seems every American restaurant I have ever been to always seems to want to have their steak slightly less done than the Canadians do. You know, I don't really like that. Yeah. So what would you say for trimmings to go with your steak? How's that? So if we were talking steak trimmings. Oh, okay, so you and I like yours both the same. Yeah. American medium, Canadian medium well. I would recommend doing the opposite. The only reason I say that is because it seems to me that when I go to the States, I actually have to up it a little bit. So yeah, in Canada, I'd ask for medium steak. And in the US, the equivalent steak would get me, if I asked for a medium, I would get what in Canada I would expect to have been medium rare. So So basically, when I go to the US, I have to ask for a medium well if I want a medium. It sounds funny, but it just seems to be the way it worked out. Okay, so now the reason that the thing looks the way it does, live, we're going back to the references. Nope, not that one. Change it up. References screen. I have one set that's got all the models, and then one set that's got, there we go. Okay, so we're working on the, you can't really see it all that well, but the little door that's sort of just above my head, I've moved that door to the side, like to the opposite end. But anyways, the point is, you can see that looks like a little bit of a drawbridge. That's really all there is to, not drawbridge, sorry, like a plank. That's really all there is to it, because if there was an attack, it makes it easy for the people in the castle to come out and just pull the bridge piece in, or pull it enough that it falls into the moat. So that's where that's coming from. And let's turn that off. References off. There we go. But the other side is far more ornate, and I'm not great at it, but we're going to start with, for once again weight purposes, we're going to go with the ones that look like they're based off of trapdoors. But if you actually had a later on mechanism that was the metal variety, you know, where you could roll things up and down, chain and whatever, then we could actually have a more fancy one. It's just that it does not work when you have mostly wood castle. They don't have the support structure for that type of work. Twice cooked potato with lots of butter, raw carrots, cooked green beans, and a side salad of cucumber, radishes, cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. Ooh, interesting side salad. I like that.
Oh, hello there!
I don't think I have enough. Yeah, that was dumb. So I went and closed off this one, which should have stayed. A second, I need more trapdoors because map. Okay. Good morning, Swanky. I'll retell this story, even though I know Neon's in the chat. So I came down this morning to start my what do you call it? I can't think today. Actually, I need slabs instead. I think that might work better in this case. That'll work. I came down this morning to start my stream up and looked at my chat, and the way OBS works, as you're probably aware, is your chat will follow you from place to place to place, so we're fine, right? That makes sense. But what had actually happened was sometime, which for me would have been like 1:15 in the morning, and I wasn't here for it. My chat somehow went wherever you went after your stream, and it turns out, so I saw a 1 a.m. version or 1:15 version of Neon saying Swanky Raid. I was like, uh-oh. What did I miss? What happened? And yeah, it was just something nice and basic, but it was just funny to me. At the Swanky Potato? At least that one worked. Actually, it looks like both shoutouts worked this morning. Yeah, these look pretty unexciting, but gotta go with it. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that was not quite right. What do I have? I got 23 more. Let's see how far that gets me. I'm pretty sure that won't be enough. But I can build. Goodness gracious, grow a tree if I have to. Try and actually get to the other side though. No, not quite. Not quite. Did make it. Okay, good. I'm just going to grab this ladder and these ladders. And note that I will probably need them to get myself back out of here. Go this side. And not come up underneath. Oh, sorry. Chat's... Ooh. Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. That would explain... Yeah, that would explain why the only message I saw was that one. But of course the streamer was either small enough or uninteresting enough that nobody wanted to follow. I'll admit, I've seen Joe have a follower-only stream, and that works for some. I purposely don't do that. Part of it is because some people don't feel comfortable following until they actually intended to come back. So it works differently for different people. You know, that's a really cheesy thing. It should actually be a proper draw bridge, but at the moment I'm a little bit of a blank for how I want to make that work in an angled rope and an angled chain sort of way. If anybody has any ideas beyond versions of chains and iron bars, do let me know, because I don't like the way this looks. But in the meantime, let's get a start on moving the horses and stuff and see if we can get the barn underway. Already half past the first hour. Third, I moved things. And I moved things and forgot where I put them. There we go. Yeah, no, I do get that. I do get that. And it's also a safety measure when you first start. So that, what'd you say? You don't get as many quacks, I guess is probably a good way of putting it. Starting up the stream. And that's fine. You know, if it works for her, cool. I mean, she's got far better return numbers than I do, and whatever those reasons are is whatever those reasons are. I don't, you know, I don't claim to have any clue, but it's just one of those ones that I may or may not have actually met some of our fine friends, such as Darby, had she not felt comfortable chatting first. But anyways, you resemble that remark. Ow. Yes, totally. Like, totally. So what Swanky basically said is that having a quiet stream and having things in follower mode makes it hard to get chat started and so forth. So it makes it really hard to get momentum in your stream. And there are days that I have that. So particularly at the start of the stream, sometimes it's hard for me to get a momentum that rolls. And sometimes it's just towards the end that I actually come up with something that works. You know, as we said, there's steak, right? I like the same sorts of things Darby does, but if that conversation hadn't come up, then I don't know where I would have been. Oh, okay, we've got a bit of a lag that's going to cause us a challenge here. There we go. Not exactly rubber banding as such, but I'm going to bet in not too short an order we're going to see some flying giant bats. Flying giant? Wow. So Benson won with the plunger. Ooh. Ooh. I saw that one yesterday from Arch, and I was thinking to myself, I hope that's a clean plunger. I'd run, regardless. But yes. It reminds me of the pictures that you see of often of little kids pretending they're a knight, and they've got the toilet plunger in one hand, a towel around their neck or a blanket, and the kitchen colander over their head, like some sort of helmet. I need to get this one out of the way because it'll be in the way, clearly. But also, just don't have enough spots for all this stuff. There. Oak complete over there. Bruce, you can go back down here. I don't need to actually leave. That would explain another thing. Economize. Alright. I think I have enough spaces. So we'll go with this. Yep, I did. Great. I'm going to put the head box. Is that the gatehouse? Sure. Why not? I haven't decided what I want to do with all the heads yet. In a way, it's kind of like a server guest book, I suppose. When we collected these heads, or most of them, I mean, I've got the mob heads on the bottom, so those are pretty vanilla. Well, pretty basic, I guess. But when we collected most of these other heads, I had a lot of fun. 24 deaths was a lot, but I mean, hey, maybe next time I'll actually kill somebody. According to the stats screen, it says I didn't kill anybody, and it's probably correct. But the reason I have any doubt whatsoever is that the Lava King, CJ, hello, Lava King CJ came in and he had, what's the word? Can't even think today. He had checked his stats, and it looked like his said that that he had never killed anybody, which was weird because CJ Bot was the one wandering around. He was a lot like CK this year, where he was running around and lopping off people's heads after the game was over. So you just sort of like, yep, I only want heads that I've killed myself. Your turn, and then just lop your head off. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I had a whole inventory full of other people's heads. So yeah, it was interesting. So I am going to get lazy on this one. Where did I put the magazine? I had the magazine. Oh, there it is. So, copying, this isn't a secret. I'm going to borrow a design from Medieval Fortress. Minecraft Medieval Fortress. Builder book. Easy as pie, but there'll be some modifications along the way that have nothing to do with the design suggested, just because I want to make it fit the space. And period-wise, of course, we're changing up materials and changing up the layout a little bit, but it's more inspiration and dimensions. I'll use that one later. They've got interesting ideas for stuff in the square. And that's not even the stables one I wanted. Okay, wrong one. Yeah, that's the wrong period. Okay. Oh. And all else fails. It's again just for speed reasons. Craft Builder's Guide, another one of those, like, you know, focus targeted magazine things, which are out of date like 3 weeks before you buy it. Did I put? I had a bookmark and my bookmark fell out. There we go. Okay. Barn. Doing it this way just to be able to speed things up. No. Not the windmill. Oh, come on. Why can I not find what I'm looking for? Probably because I'm live on stream, right? Isn't that how it always goes? I have no idea what I used. Interesting. Okay. Well, then we will fake it. That's fine. I have no idea where I came up with the design that I was using. I will just try and remember what I did as we go. Okay, that's great. It gets you a bit more originality, right? Yeah. You don't want your bookmarks to fall out of things. You'll never find it again. All right. No, I didn't, because it was on another world that I've been using recently as Vault Hunters. But that's okay. Trying to figure, where did I see it? I think it was this one. Let's take one more look in the Builder's Guide. Give me one quick sec here. That's the big barn. It's one of those ones where you do X and then you do Y and then you do etc., right? I don't know. Not critical. Automatic arms, no. Oh well. Maps. There's the bookmark. Must have moved. Okay. Nope. Nope. There is farmyard mini builds. Forget it. We will just build a barn. Make it work. All right. But what does happen when I have that issue come up is that I have a tendency to make things out of materials different than I originally started with. And things often go in a really weird order. So there may be some building and rebuilding. Okay. How deep do I want this? It may stack up under the walls with some bales or something. So let's start. Like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Oops. Okay, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 and not build up? How much hangover do I have? Nope, that would be bad. The reason that would be bad is, for argument's sake, lore reasons, if you got up onto the roof, I don't want a stable in a spot where people could actually jump onto it from up top. You need to move it up a little bit. Make the back corners first, that's probably even smarter. I'm going to go with here. Because I can. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. And how big do I want these to be? 1, 2, 3. Make a square to start. 6. 3, 4, 6. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of with the len. Okay, and I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can get another one in there. And then let's split these into boy. Sorry, just it's like really, Delenn, can you not count today? They really shouldn't be of stone, actually. Those are just going to be markers. That's why I did it in cobble. We're going to need trees, but as you saw, the resource is a little light. Let's see what I've got for I want spruce or oak. Spruce bottom and an oak top. I need spruce trees and oak trees. I tend to get more than I need, so just take half of these. 28. Those back. Okay, and I'm going to take a quick run to see. I'm never going to eat apples. Let's just get rid of those. Take a quick run to see what I've got for bone meal. $46. Well, it'll give me a couple trees. Hello, buddy. Let's go with these ones. Spruce is probably more critical. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Little. Little pirate just starved to death. Oops, a daisy. See a hole. It's a barnyard with holes. Don't worry, that was not meant to be a good impression of any sort. I'm also realizing that, oops, first off, I did the wrong tree. Second, if I do spruce trees, we may have some yard repair to do afterwards. Okay, we are northeast. Whatever. Nice. Okay. So let's get some chopping going. I won't spend all stream chopping because it's annoying, but we do need to get some that we can start working with. You can see that the server's a lovely set of friends when everybody's concerned over Poodle Pirates starving and offering to bring food. Kind of like when somebody in real world has a challenge and the neighbors bring them, you know, food in casserole dishes and stuff. I had heard once upon a time that if you bone meal the northeast one, that you're going to get better luck. Now that could be a wives' tale. So I have no real clue if it's actually a thing, or if it's just luck that it worked when I did it this time around. But yeah, that's what I had heard, and it seems to do fairly well for me. As I said, it could just be sheer luck. But being as I had less than a stack of bone meal, and I don't know how much wood I'm going to need, then I'm kind of glad that it was an inexpensive first one. Oh good, we only have a little bit to fix. Okay, Rubber Band City. Here we go, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, face north. East, that'll be the top right corner here. Yeah, let's see if we can do it again. Not bad. So, maybe there is something to that. I really don't know. At least it's one of those things that, as I said, if it is only a luck deal, I'm going to take it. Why argue, right? I like the big spruce because I can actually get to the top without too much trouble. I was doing oak yesterday in a big long line, which worked fairly well, but part of the challenge is sometimes we would actually get the Mondo DC oak trees just because they were trying to grow up next to each other and were having the issues, so they would grow tall and then sprawl all over the place. And those are such a pain to deal with just because it's hard to make sure you get all of the wood out of the inside to make things despawn. And sometimes you can't reach the wood all that easy. But you may note that I had no leaves in my inventories, in storage at all, and that's just because I don't tend to build with them. I mean, I can always grow trees if I want, or go harvest trees at the time if I need more. We've got a stack of 54. Let's do at least one more, I think, because we're going to need them for all kinds of things with regard to the barn. Do one more. See if the third time's unlucky. Nice little hole for it to grow in. Oh, it's getting to be nighttime, actually. That's not a smart plan. Let's just sleep first. Doot-doodle-doo-doo. I get myself turned around in the base when I don't even need to worry about directions. It's kind of sad. Sticks. Do-si-do. There we go. Let's try. So, once again, north, east. Well, probably not a big trick, but at least you don't have to pour on a whole mountain full of bone meal. Yeah, it's probably not anything more than just any more than just sheer luck. 4 pieces isn't exactly savings. I mean, some of my trees were taking 7 yesterday, and that was just a pain. But the other thing is, if I keep conscious of where I'm standing, it also keeps me conscious not to stand too close to the tree and get suffocated in the tree. The other reason I decided to clear out the golems was I was doing the trees yesterday, and I was staying a nice distance away, and I got pushed by a golem just in time for the tree to grow, and I nearly suffocated in the tree. So that was not high on my list. It made me kind of punitively mad at the golems. Besides, I needed crossbow practice anyways, so yeah. So once we get done this one, we will go back to the frame, or the posts I laid out on the ground, and swap them out for the spruce instead. Few leaves can despawn. Yeah, nearly 3 stacks should do it. Should do for a good start. Put these in the offhand. The thing is, I'm only making these 2 slots wide. Can I stand here? No. Maybe. Because it's Minecraft, I'll go with it. Now, some of these parts of the barn are going to be built a little bit on an as-needed basis. And meaning that I'm going to start out with a couple of stalls for the horses separately, but then the last, whatever it is, 4, I guess, or 3, will be one big pen to start with, just because I need to move the sheep down here. And then as I start doing things with the sheep, as I start doing more with the sheep, then I will split up the pens for more horses and donkeys and so on and so forth. I may even just put the 2 horses together and then put the donkeys together. So I've got a donkey I've left outside the Ender portal. Ender portal? Wow. The Nether portal. And that's going to be having to come through pretty soon. He needs a home. He doesn't need to live up there and just stare at nothing all day. I think I'm going to steal a free hydrate, because I could certainly use it. Not. Interesting. That was supposed to make noise. Wonder what happened there. Coffee time! Yes, coffee, coffee, coffee. Oh, great. So it looks like plot needs a kick. Just give me a quick second to kick that, and then I'll be right back. The ding! That ding was the killing of the WebSocket. No, it's not Coke with coffee yet, actually. I'm intentionally saving that one. I needed a warm pick-me-up this morning. I'm not really a t-shirt person, so the weather is a little cold, and I don't own a pink long-sleeve shirt. But yeah, tomorrow's plans certainly will have some coffee. So yeah, Coke has come out with... Pardon me. Feeding. Coke has come out with 2 varieties. They have a sort of a vanilla and a dark. I can't remember what the dark one was, but... and it's coffee and Coke. So we'll have to see what that's like. I'm not normally an ice cap kind of person, even though I do let my coffee get cold. And fizzy coffee just seems weird, but we'll have to see what happens. Okay, do we have... Yeah, we need gates. No, just the fence. Probably because I used up the gate, right? That would be what I did. Okay. And, alternate. The oak again. I get them too confused. As I get myself confused. What ought to do. I think it'll be good. But this one will probably change looks a couple of times just because I'm working from memory, and badly so. I'm going to see a couple of different things. And that wasn't even what I wanted. I don't remember how I did this. Weirdly, sometimes I wished I had wood walls. I know it sounds odd, but nope, nope, not the fence. And these won't be quite like I had in the other world, simply because, well, aside from not remembering, it's also that in the other world, because the Vault Hunters world has mods for things like windows, I actually had some windows in here, which is not going to happen in this one. They were strangely framed windows, so yeah. No, it's not 16-hour-old coffee like DC likes to use. Although sometimes it's quite cold. And we were tracking our sleep, Fantastic Dog Fox and I, and there's the occasional time that I wonder if my post 3 p.m. coffee has been kicking me later in the evening. What do I need? 1, 2, and this is going to be a sheep pen to start with. Oops, did it again. Really? Yeah, so I'm not sure yet which one I'm going to try and start with, whether it be on the cola, whether it's going to be the light or the dark. Because like the light is like a vanilla, whereas the dark is certainly something else. Oh, actually, try. What do I have? Oh. Okay. Thought I had a stone cover. Where did I put it? Nope, that's the other world. That's easy enough. Make a new one. Okay, so use this opportunity to quickly clean out the iron, rather than like breaking up the iron blocks in storage. Until I need a bit of a break there because I really can't seem to get up and down. This way. Clean this up. Alright, close enough. There we go. 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. The thing is, what was the question? I need... Oh geez, what is that called? That thing with the saw. Not a mason's table, it's oh, come on. Thank you. Thank you. Nope. Nope. I don't have the correct materials. There we go. Who's stone? Aha. Stone, not cobble. Okay. So I can do this. Because I just heard another golem. Thank you very much. That was very, very helpful. See? Some of these people are on it. Get on it, man. What I actually brought was the things I wanted to cut on said table. I didn't bring the stone to make the table. There we go. This one. The other part of it was I didn't have, why not? Let's put it over here because it's going to be a job station whether I like it or not, so I might as well use it over. All right. Let's put these in here, and I wanted walls. There we go. Okay. These two. Somebody's been trying to fly with lag. Ooh. It came down too fast. Don't need this one. Well, I could have had another wall then if I'd picked that one up correctly. And I put fences. Oh, no, wrong ones. The answer is yes. Fences. Really want spruce fences? No. There's a reason I brought out the oak ones. Aside from the fact that I have a lot of them. This is not the look I want, but hey, it'll work for now. And then I can off camera go hunting through all my paperwork and try and figure out what I should have built. Because you know, if you hadn't figured it out already, this is version 5 of the castle. So redoing the barn doesn't bother me. I apologize if it bothers you guys, though. Alright. Oh. Trying to figure out why did that connect? Because wrong stuff. That's work. These two on top. It's the Minecraft way. Build it up to tear it down. Of course! 5 times is a little bit much, though. Normally I try hard not to... Well, I'm trying hard not to pay attention to stats for streams. But it's a pretty good hint that things didn't quite go the way you wanted when you gotta fall off in numbers by the time your castle hits round 5. Is she ever gonna be done? Sometimes I wonder that myself, to be honest with you. I dropped one. I'm not Wolfen writ large, but on the other hand, I don't like things to expire any more than she does. So eventually I'm going to split this one up, but for now I'm going to use that to hold sheep. And so we're going to have a temporary pen that's going to be a little on the noisy side, I suppose. I mean, I think I'll probably get the sheep sound muted pretty quickly. Let's see, is it a triple? Yeah, the triple pen, so I can just close this off pretty basically. And then we can make it more decorative later. Good captain never admits that he thinks, oh, that things are not going to plan. There's a reason I never would have gotten promoted to captain. Ever. God. Oops, wrong one. The reason I say that, where's my... Go. Okay, if you get in on the left, then you come out on the right, which means you've gone the right direction. Isn't that how that goes? Oh, please. Go. I'm not used to getting lag on that. That's interesting. Oak fence. I don't need 8. 2 will do nicely. Thank you very much. So, 2 more for later. After the sheep. Oh, right. 1, 2. This thing bugs me. How the fence will convert the ground back to dirt, and then the gates don't. I mean, I get that, you know, you could wear it down as a walk path, but the fact that you have to have it converted like this really bugs me. Oh well. That's okay. Roofing. Okay, what I wanted to do... These ones I want to do a little differently, but I'm thinking because it's a stable, I might need to go 1 higher on the walls. High, maybe? You know, if I'm up on a block and I mount the horse, yeah, we should be fine. Okay, that I don't really need to go higher. So, do I have enough to be able to do? Fire. 16. Oh, well, sure, I'll take that. I don't have enough room to stock that though. Let's not do that just yet. I need to put away the stuff that doesn't need to be here. Using birch right now. Oops, wrong one. Oak, spruce, I need that. Purple. Don't need the fences. Spruce. Too many arrows. Too many arrows. That's fine. Go behind. Stone. Sleep. That's a good thing to do. Yeah. Or it went exactly as planned. Exactly. I mean, in truth, while I was looking for a pre-done design, by the time I actually muddle my way through this, I might end up preferring what I did anyways. There were a couple of design details I probably will still nick and change up, but not necessarily a ton. Okay. I'm going to need to ditch the dirt. Oh, and those extra ones are here. Not 16 slots. I don't need the trapdoors at the moment. Spruce. Okay, let's try this and see what we've got. 16 still won't be enough, but at least we can get ourselves a start. And I have to put them out. That's going to be the fun part. And oh, and they stack. I forgot. That's a new thing. I didn't know it was stacked. That's why I didn't have to put everything away. Aha! There's madness to this method. Or some such. Okay. Dirt up there. No. I'm gonna turn. The idea, what I'm looking for is here. I'm going to use the campfires put out as sort of like cross beams to support, and then like all the way across, and then we're going to do a layer of thatch above that. So having campfires that could light themselves would be, or being lit would be problematic in the extreme. And what this says to me is I should probably, next time I come down, should probably start the birch I've got in storage turning into charcoal, or see if I've actually got coal to work with. I'm gonna need a few of these. I love the sound of the burning fire, but it does sound a little bit like a forest fire to me. Less so to a campfire. Sorry to hear that. I've got sinus issues a little bit, and so I can totally commiserate with you, because when my sinuses get triggered, I'm extra sensitive to the weather we have out here, so I can totally follow. We've got Chinooks, and that just basically, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it sounds like, or it's more or less spring weather type warm breezes that come from the west, usually from the coast toward the center. But yeah, well, now I know how long this thing is. But the drawback to them is that it usually happens when we're signaling a very rapid shift in weather. So we had Chinooks keeping us warm through most of February, and then suddenly, Murphy's Law, we had a shift to cold weather, which is where Snowmageddon comes in. I'm really, really sorry to hear that, Darby. I hope your headaches pass soon. They can be pretty rough altogether. Okay, I can burn. Let's burn those. Should get me 40 more. That's still not going to be enough. It's just it'll get us partway there. This one. And then take 5. Put this. There we go. Oops. Work. Here. There. Excellent. Okay. And I have some more. I did have a stone cutter. I'm gonna put that away. The reason I took it away at the time was because I didn't want to have a villager becoming that, and now I don't really care. Okay. Oh, this is going to be problematic if I run out of lava. I don't think I will in this project, but I took down my lava farm and I put it back up again. Yeah, I hadn't really planned where to put that yet. So I may end up hanging it off the side of the castle on the inside over here, maybe. Probably the easiest spot to put it. And then, as always, I usually build a stone cutter on the edge of that, and a stone cutter, sorry, wow, stone farm, I guess. Goodness gracious, I've got I think a little space today, as you guys can clearly see. Look, there's all the parts to my little lava farm and stuff. Most of them. I'm being a bit spacey, but part of that is related to the weather changes that everybody's talking about. So I'm actually fighting a headache as well, and I'm popped up on Tylenol, which doesn't sound like much, but if it hasn't kicked in hard enough, then yeah. And I don't think I took enough allergy meds when I went to bed last night. A little off on that one too. Oh well. Okay, let's see. Let's get the fires. I can get 9 more. I ran out of sticks, huh? Really? How does one run out of sticks? Should I take both? We need sticks. Now, how many can I get? 2 more. Now we got 11, but at least I have some sticks left. Get these 11 installed. Really? Install on the other end so that we can get the look of the hay bales going, and I may not even need both sides to be covered, or like all the way through. I just need to get the frames to look like they're supporting everything. Oklahoma has just psycho weather. Hot and cold, winds all around. Yep. Normally it's pretty dry wind though, isn't it? In Oklahoma? I'm in Alberta, so we're the second most prairie province in the country. And it can get pretty wackadoodle up here too. Cold, but dry. And our hot is hot, but that's mostly because it's dry. And that sounds weird. Yeah. Oops. There we go. Ouch. Alright, so we're almost on that second side. And I said hay bales, didn't I? So, guess where we're headed? We're gonna go visit the farm, and I have a couple very confused bees because their house isn't here. Sorry, guys. Hope you're not inside. That actually would be problematic. Let's just take a quick run. If they're problematic. If they're in here, uh-oh. Can I? Dude. There we go. There's one. The other one hiding out. I'm betting he got stuck the same way. Yeah. Can you please? Thank you. Go, go, go. Now they're going to be confused because their hive isn't here. Both confused. Oh well. We need. First off, get that out of my hand. Let's go get the hay. The wheat. What we can, anyways. I should have taken this when I was out here before. Found a recipe for strawberry crepes that turned out pretty good. Gotta learn how to make the crepes, yeah. If you figure out the trick to making crepes, let me know. I am horrible at it. Fantastic Sherlock Fox is actually better than me at it, but I don't think our kids particularly like crepes. Usually I don't, actually. Just because it feels to me like the one side is not cooked through. And having had really poorly cooked flapjacks at camps and stuff, my brain just has a problem with crepes. Weird, but people fill them with is fantastic. I could still nick part of the recipe anyways and use that as a flapjack toppings or something. And now strangely I'm having a craving for doughboys. So if you guys have never had doughboys, we do is kind of a camp thing. But I mean, you can do it. I guess you can do it at home. Not really sure how, but we cheat and we use Bisquick. So basically, boxed biscuit dough, not preformed, but actually like boxed, and we make it up at camp. And then while the dough is all icky sticky, you form it around a green pole. So meaning, like you've taken a tree branch or whatever, and usually they're still fairly green so that they're moist inside. Or you can use older ones that you've had for a while, but you just have to soak them first. And then what you do with that is you form it around the end of the pole. So you've got about a 1 inch to 1.5 inch diameter hole up the middle of this dough, and then you just bake it or cook it over the campfire till it's cooked through. And then when you eat it, you just slide off the pole. You can put whatever you want down the middle. I've seen people put hot dog wieners in the middle. Frequently, what I usually do is I'll do like fruit. So cut up berries, or I've seen people put in peanut butter or Nutella or jams of various different sorts. Actually, raspberry jam or strawberry jam down the center works pretty well as well. The problem that I find is that, unfortunately, a lot of places refuse to let you cut green poles, which is, yeah, I can probably see why. And the other problem with it is that Oh, this project will be a while. And the other problem with it is that, you know, we really need a thatch block in Minecraft. Like, big time. Because slabs out of hay bales would be awesome for these sorts of projects. Anyway, but the problem with this, it won't let you cut the green poles, and the things dry out, crack, and split too easily. So basically you're looking at going to a broom handle, but of course you don't want to use actual broom handles because actual broom handles will, they're often treated, or, oh. Well, I hadn't thought about that. That's not something I planned on at all. Okay. Fine, scratch the hay bales. Sure, we can do that. Now I just have hay bales for decorative storage. That's fine. So in any case, they won't let you do that, and you don't want to use the actual handles because they will often be treated and unsafe for doing that sort of stuff. But lose on that front. Yeah, we totally need hay bale slabs, but I guess my other bigger complaint, as we just saw there, is Mojang. I get that you want us to build things. I get that you want 1 block high spaces most of the time, but please, can we stack things on top of other things? It's not just a Monty Python sketch. There's so much more building creativity we could get into if we could interlock things or stack things on top of other things. For example, one of the pieces I liked the other day was somebody was showing me. Actually, I came up with another version of my own as well of basically like arrow slits for castles that we started with earlier on. But arrow slits for castles where you could actually use stairs to be able to make them. So when you invert stairs upside down, you get yourself an arrow slit, right? Now I know it would be lovely if we had, vertical slabs, the things that, you know, would work. But I mean, even if, maybe another one would be if walls would be smart enough to go with their little wider design with stairs. That would be lovely, because then we could use the walls sort of as a vertical slab, right? I think that would even, for me at least, I would be happy with that as a vertical slab. It would be nice if it would slip off to the side, but it doesn't, you know? And I get that. I get that they have their ways, they have their plans. You know what? I might actually cheat this. I prefer the look of the campfires all the way across, but if the game is going to be frustrating and not let me, then I might just frame it on the outside and go slabs on the inside. It gives me the look from the outside edge without necessarily having to have it that way on the inside. Let's see. In any case, it's just, I don't know, there's things I really wish Minecraft would let us do, but they don't. I'm going to need a lot, so I might as well do that, and then I can always cut more trees. Yeah. And this is not quite the design I was hoping for, but it might do for now. Yeah, it'll do. It'll do. But I mean, like, they lean towards such a medieval aesthetic, and I don't know who didn't do their homework, but medieval aesthetics require thatch in a lot of ways. I mean, take for example, even as far as Shakespeare, his house was a thatched roof house. Anybody who wants to look up that one can double check me, but yeah, it was a thatched roof house. So not having hay slabs is kind of frustrating. The other one that I find frustrating, same vein, there's a lot of people that don't like the bands on a hay bale. Did I put them away already? of people that don't like the bands on a hay bale, right? They think that looks rather ridiculous. But then there's also the version where we're putting them down vertically, right? If you were able to be directional about the whole thing, it would be nice just to be able to say, okay, well, what if we do like the bands? That sounds crazy, but what if we do? I don't mind them. In a lot of cases, I don't mind them. But it would be nice, once again, if they weren't quite so ruddy thick. Oh well. It is what it is, right? Okay, where are we here? Do I have enough? 2, 4, 10. That was fast enough. Oh, sticks. That's what the problem was. Yep, we need more trees. Darn. Sorry, guys. We're back to tree cutting. My apologies. That was originally not the plan. Ooh, actually. I'm just going to quickly test an idea. I don't think I'm going to like it. But, you know, if you don't test it, you'll never know. I don't think this is going to look any good, but we'll see. Let's hide. And just F4, up and over. Rather than me hopping down and taking a look all the time. It's not great, but it works, at least for layer 1. So I fill the whole level with that for layer 1. Actually, I don't really like it. But how much did this hang over? I might actually have to do that because then it looks like a hay storage rack. That works as well. So we're still short on hay and on whatchamacallums, but that's okay. Like, we're better. At least we have a plan, right? We have a plan. If I can actually get this down, that might help. Oops, didn't think that one through. Okay. All right, so back to trees. I have more seeds than I know what to do with. Plans are good, exactly. That. You can hear something's amiss when it takes. Normally we hear all the clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clank kind of stuff with the golems, but that one felt like it was half-speed death. So of course that's going to trigger things to be longer between golems, so we definitely have a little bit of a drag going on here. See, how many do we have? Well, it's not bad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9? Yeah. 9, considering that we're in the process of having a lot of people building things where you might have people all over the place. Yeah, that'd be a little bit of lag. Just a touch. Give me a quick second. What am I looking at? Wrong one. Okay. We're fine. I saw a quick notice in Discord that there was something that needed my attention, but it turned out it wasn't something that actually was related to the channel. It was a completely different Discord. Okay, so once again, let's try this and see whether or not the Northeast. Skosh. I'm not familiar with the term. Okay, maybe the Northeast is something. I don't know. It does seem to work. Oh, like a tad, a skosh. Gotcha. Now you mentioned, I have heard that. Like that pinch I'd talked about before. When people say, just add a pinch of salt, add a pinch of sugar, or a pinch of whatever, and it's like, unless you're talking something fancy, like fancy and silly like pixie dust, I'm never going to know how big that is, because hey, I'm a parent. That sounds funny, but when you say pinch of salt, whose measurement? Are you actually pinching properly? Is it an adult set of fingers? Sometimes it matters whether it's a lady's, man's, or if they've got like a, this sounds weird, but like a farming background, because that tends to splay your hands out a good bit. Ouch. But if you tell kids a pinch, even though they have smaller hands, often they will pinch larger than an adult, because they'll use like a 3-finger pinch or a 4-finger pinch, which is going to be far too much of whatever it is you're looking for. So yeah, not so effective. Okay, so we tried. Let's actually do this intentionally. So we had 3, I think it was, in the last one. Let's try southwest this time and just see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 6 isn't bad, so maybe there isn't anything to it. But yeah, so it's like that. I mean, there's older. Yeah, see, a smidgen. That's another one of those ones. Well, I mean, even in today's terminology, if you were to, or in today's world, if you were to ask somebody to measure out a gill of something, I don't think there's a whole lot of people that would know what a gill is. Strangely enough, I don't really know what a gill is, but I do have a gill measuring cup, so that works. Which we got, strangely enough, we got free with one of our other liquor bottles. Scoosh! A scoosh reminds me of the toy koosh balls they used to have. So think of the koosh balls. Think of if you were to make one of the kids style pom-pom. Oops, ouch! The kids style pom-poms that you make out of yarn, where they just have like little yarn bits everywhere. The koosh ball is like that, except made out of like your mailing elastics. So it's still a scoosh, but it's spelled skosh? Interesting. O sound. Skosh? I have a Canadian accent, apparently. Right? Okay. So let's see. Try northeast again. We had 6 the last time. Let's take this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So no, there's no special thing for the northeast. But hey, sometimes it works. Yeah, I don't say things correctly. I say about, which to some people comes out as about, which I have no idea why, because that would be closer to a UK accent, and I don't even hear UK people say it that way. They don't say about, though, but it is different. Yeah, so we've got a skosh, a scoosh, a koosh, a pinch, a gill, a smidgen, a touch. Yeah, that's the other one. A touch of whatever. To taste. That's the biggest one. If something in a recipe says add such and such to taste, I'm like, because for a lot of people in my family, if there's a few of them who've come up with health issues where they get told to stay off the salt or back off the salt, because they were the kind of people that you wanted probably about a gallon of water to try and eat half of the recipes, because when they say, during the cooking process, add salt to taste. These people, yeah, when it starts to be measured in like quarter spoonfuls or more, I'm a little confused. That's a good way of putting it. Accent is flexible. That's a great way of putting it. My family's accent tends to shift in not so great ways. And the reason I say that, in a great way, so I've told this story a couple times before, but my brother took a student work abroad program in England for 2 years, and he came back with a strange combination accent that was sort of Brit, sort of Canadian. It was really odd to us, but certain words were pronounced that way. I don't do that, even though I'm a huge fan of television, UK television and such. But I will use some British phrases, kind of like we pick up. A few people would say, pieces, parts, or something being janky would be picked up from people like DC rather than something that they would have actually heard locally. There are some phrases that are typically Australian, and I don't even think about it because I've heard so many Australian streamers use it, it didn't even really occur to me. But yeah, so my father, unfortunately, has a very flexible accent as well, and his shifts rapidly, and he doesn't even notice it. But the problem with his accent, the way it shifts, is it will imitate people for whom English is not the first language, and you will start to hear it. So basically, the long story short was one of his trades was a magician, so like self-employed and so on. Ow! Oh, I hate those guys. Anyway, so he was self-employed as a magician and ran his own business, and so you could tell when he'd been on the phone with a not English as a first language client because he would start sounding like that for a little while. And the worst bit is sometimes he would sound like that on the phone with the client. So for people from, say, for example, portions of the Middle East, when they speak English, or maybe say someone from India, when they speak English, it often has a bubbly quality to it, I suppose. Not a bubbly bright, but just a bubbly sort of rolling type of sound. And he would pick that up, not even realize he's picked it up, and be using it with them on the phone. Given that factor, I am surprised he ever got business, because he would come across sounding racist even if he wasn't intending to. So yeah. Lose in some of those situations. But so our family's accent can shift quite quickly, quite easily. On the other hand, I've actually, when I used to work tech support, strange enough, because I would pick up on and reuse certain UK phrases, I actually had some clients who would purposely choose to speak to me rather than other people in our department for that reason, and I don't get why. I guess they just assumed that I identified with them more, something. It was odd. So we got to the point where when I worked tech support, I had one UK lady who insisted on sending our support email account jokes that are always clean, but they were worse than dad jokes. And we're like, you really don't have to do this. She goes, well, you're so polite to bring me back when we need it, so that I don't mind sending you these sorts of things. Not whether or not you mind, we just kind of wish you wouldn't do it to the support email account box. Oh, you can give me your direct email then. I'm not that dumb. But yeah, just little things like that. And so it was just kind of funny, I guess, to some extent, but you could totally tell. Sometimes when my father had been on a business call right before my mother would call him to dinner, because he'd pick up an accent and start sounding like an Indian person, and that was really not okay. Not even back then. But yeah, mixing up accents or mixing things together, picking up words from other places is fun, but confusing. And the other thing too is sometimes people are polite, and they get a good chuckle out of how your mixed accent sounds, or the fact that you've picked up one of their terminology words. And other times they get highly offended. I mean, I've been chewed out of my fair share as well for using terms that were innocent enough, but they just thought we were intentionally mocking them by using the words. So it's always a minefield, I guess, to have shifting accents and shifting word usages. Then there's some people who just simply pronounce words differently, simply because nobody, when they were young, ever told them that it wasn't said that way, and now that they're older, they just can't stop it, or it's very, very difficult to change it. You know, so there's some people that are a little bit more set in their pronunciations. And I mean, a million different things can change pronunciations. We've Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I love his online name. I mean, I'm biased because I like the Sherlock Holmes, and we both like the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie. But I know that poses a problem for people like Dadcraft, and often actually other streamers too, just because it's a mouthful. Please been called everything from Sherlock to Fox to FSF to... Like, people write it as FSF, but sometimes they just call it Fox. Which works well until you end up with being in the same room, or sorry, the same chat as Foxy No-Tail, for example, or more commonly, we have... Oh, shoot. My apologies to Ms. Fox, but we have a lovely member of our community who also goes by Fox. And it's confusing. Yeah, whatever the person wants to be called is what I call them. It just becomes challenging when you end up with, like, in an offline sense, when you end up with two Alexes in the room. And if you just generally address Alex, it's interesting. But, I mean, that also fits, though, when you go back into, not pink shirt per se, but the idea of recognizing people individually as who they are is, it helps then at that point to know a person's preferred, not just their preferred name, but also their preferred pronouns. Because I've known a few people who chose to be non-binary, and for some reason, whoever it was they were with had an expectation that that meant because they had gone or announced they were non-binary, that they were going to be having an old name, and that dead naming was a thing, which it is, but that the person was getting bugged for the fact that they didn't change their name. Which was interesting. So anyways, to get around that notion for myself, I've got, when I can, I've got the extension installed for looking at people's pronouns if they have registered them with a particular website. I think it's Alejo something or other. Anyways, you can always search it, look it up. It's like Twitch pronoun extension or something like that. And it's just a plugin for your browser. So I've got that. The kicker, unfortunately, is that it doesn't plug into OBS. So I have to try and figure out if there's another way around that, but I don't know yet. So when I'm streaming, I get lost on that front. When I'm just watching, it's a little easier. And oddly enough, one of the things that caught my attention about Dari when I first met you was that you had the plugin installed as well. Because what it does is it puts a great big label up against your name that shows what pronouns you prefer. And so those ones tend to attract my attention in the same sort of way that, like, people who have badges, whether it be broadcaster or moderator or subscriber for a channel, those badges will catch a person's attention compared to the ones that don't have that. And so those, by the time you start adding subscription badges in with, you've got your turbos or you're not, or you're muted, or whatever those other little symbols are, etc., etc. And then you've got this one in too. It makes it quite a long tag when somebody goes to make a comment, which is perfectly fine. I mean, they're okay with all that stuff. And how do I put this? It makes it perfectly fine with a long tag, but definitely attract attention, right? I'm going to notice you, which is cool. I like noticing people. Exactly. Well, and the other thing is, one of the reasons I've added mine, it was just because some of the channels I was popping into started calling me Russell, which is, I mean, if you're going with the UK call people by their last name thing, then that works okay. No issue. But the fact that I like to go by Glenn made it complicated. And I'm just me. It's like that quote from Harry Potter about the I'm Harry, just Harry. Yeah. Sometimes shifting accents can be great, sometimes it can be a problem. And also, I don't know if Fantastic Sherlock Fox has ever noticed any difference, but I would not be surprised if I've picked up on my parents' ability to shift accents. That's not meant as a bad thing or a good thing, it's just a thing. So let's get rid of this now. Go. But I can tell if I've been binge watching too much UK TV. Start saying weird things. Do I have? No, I don't have enough sticks. Make some more sticks. There. How many campfires? Well, don't think I need 52 campfires. But yeah. Go for like 32, maybe. It's probably plenty, actually. Stop at 28 because if I'm gonna need more than that. I might need 50 some odd. Because they stack and I can get more wood, why not? Sure. I'm gonna take those bales down. I'm looking at them and I'm not happy with that look. Windy wouldn't work for me, but 20 degrees is awesome. Let's see, right now my watch tells me it is... In Celsius, we are feeling like minus 27. So, if we go with convert minus 27 Celsius, what do we got? So we're looking at minus 16.6 Fahrenheit. Yeah, cold, cold, and a lot of snow. We have far too much snow at the moment. You can say that again. It's definitely too cold for me. I'm guaranteeing our kids will be having what's called a blue day at school. So when the weather, including wind chill, gets below minus 20 Celsius, then they don't get allowed outside for recess or lunch play. Partly because you can't guarantee that all the kids are dressed appropriately for the weather, but also because the school doesn't want to be responsible for frostbite and all that jazz. But I'm supposed to be going, well, hopefully, going cross-country skiing with my son this weekend. Minimum, I'm the driver. Whether I end up actually getting to go, we'll see, but at minimum, I'm the driver for him and a friend. And so we've got to go like approximately an hour and a half out of town, I guess. An hour and a half out of town for it. And I'm not looking forward to the cold. So 50 Fahrenheit is 10 degrees above freezing fast. Yeah, that's a cute little toy I've got in here. I've got a few toys like that, I guess, for the stream. If anybody needs to look at the commands, if I can find the button, this one. So I've got them all hidden in the little about panel on the screen, which is difficult when you're on mobile. I gather that, but it's definitely available there, and I'm working on getting a file that I can share out, a text file, share it to those that are interested, but I haven't even got one for my mods yet. Okay. Guilty. These from below? Uh-oh. Thought I could use from below. Okay, that's not good. Well, then I guess I will have to light myself on fire from above. Sure. I can do that. One more. Whoa. Oops. Not that. Aw, nuts. I forgot I don't have slug touch. One level. Okay, well, I have to remember that I can't use the axe for those, because I don't have slug touch on it yet. I have a book for it ready to go. I just need to do it. Yeah, derailed a thought. So I've got a couple little things like that. I mean, there aren't a ton of... It feels like there are a ton of commands when I put in the effort to set them up, but there really aren't that many. Nothing that's super useful. I mean, it feels like separate commands to do a bunch of the things, but it's not. That looks really funny. Until I get them all shut down. More sticks. 6 more campfires? Sure. Work. How many more campfires back? 5 more on top of that. Not going to be enough, but I might be able to make one-offs after that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. You need more than that. Okay. Oh. Still do the math though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 more. Then we can put out all the smoke. $11. $15. There we go. Okay. Hello, sir. Coming to see why the roof is on fire? The roof is on fire. There you go. That is not going to be family friendly if I actually finish that song. Functional! Let's get the... here. Shut down. By crouching up. Okay. Nope. Come on. I do think it was funny. I'm using these for roofs. Is actually kind of fun, but it was mildly amusing that even without fire spread, there was a time in Minecraft when mobs that were on fire because they were burning from the sunlight, if they walked across, say you'd had a bridge or something that was made out of the campfires like this, then you could actually have the mobs start your roof on fire, or start your like all your campfires get lit back up again by your mobs. It was kind of cute. Annoying in one hand, but cute. Yeah, that'll work. I like that look. For now. There's still elements I want to steal from the other design, but I think this will get us going. And 5 minutes, let's put the horses back. We can probably stack up. Maybe on this side? Yeah. We'll probably stack a few hay bales. You don't want the horses to be able to come out, right? Oops. It's always a challenge. Actually, I like that better. Come here. Hello, pick up. Come on. I want you sideways. Really? I like them sideways banded. The reason I like them sideways banded, I'm going to do something else about that at the top. When all else fails and there's just barely above the line, we will just throw some birch buttons on top. Sure, that'll work. Back to game, please. I'll probably get a few more bales and make the pile taller, but to start with, oh, actually, this way instead. It's not quite as obvious. Still fairly obvious, but if I somewhat line up the panels or whatever it is they're doing in here, then to me it makes it feel a little bit less obvious. Not ideal, but it'll do. And it's not worth doing the rail style tie downs either. I could, but it just feels, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I think that probably would work. Do a bit of a rail style tie down, and then the idea is it can't roll down the hill. I've also put it on the wrong side. I need to move it all together. No, I do not have a spider farm. Darby, one of the things that actually you didn't know about me yet is I am quite a notable arachnophobe. I don't shriek and run away and stuff, but I will freeze. And yeah, in-game as well. Like the spiders in Minecraft really bother me in-game too. So the result of that is that I cannot, unfortunately, build a spider farm even if I had one. I'm the bad person who will be much happier with cats. So sorry, cats. No more. No more cats. This. I know. Oh, I might have enough actually. I go rail. What am I missing? Okay. Apparently I haven't figured out how yet. That's interesting. Why I don't know how to make them yet is beyond me. This, that, one of those in there. Yeah. I can make them, so why it didn't show up in my recipe book? I have any idea. Regular dirt. How can I place it, please? Thank you. That one. This one. Dig again. But yeah, so in any case, string wouldn't have been an option. And I haven't yet had cats die in my iron farm. True, and it also keeps them rolling around the yard, which is nice. Now, the reason I had to switch sides on that one is we need to put up, we still have a fence that goes along this upper lip here, and that's just going to be all wood. But I think, in that case, we'll probably work on that this evening, and just get that wall done. I'm just going to take a quick look. Do I have... Oh, I don't. Okay, well, we can see what the birch strip looks like there. I don't have an oak strip. But let's take this one down for a second. Yeah, let's put it here. But if I strip a spruce, that's what it looks like. And I'm thinking, I've got the oak roofs. I'm thinking maybe the inner fence should probably be oak strip. It probably would work better. So, in the meantime, between now and the evening, I will definitely do a lot more growing of trees. I didn't even pick that one up. Oh. So we're going to build the oak wall here, probably correct whatever it is that annoys me about this one, move the horses in. Actually, I'll probably get the horses moved in before that, just makes it easier, and start laying out some of the larger buildings that are going to go inside this area. Because we've got to find places for these guys. Right? Alrighty. Pardon me. Let's move the horses just to the last thing we do because we've got a couple of seconds left. Yay, last meeting of your 4-hour meeting done. No meetings for 2 hours. Wow. Does that mean I should go long, Fantastic Sherlock Fox? I wasn't intending to. I believe some really interesting people show up on Wednesdays, but I could be wrong. Okay, you guys, 1. Oh, 3. There they go. 1, 2. Come on, guys. Oh, it just means you can listen to the audio. I think because I'm going to be back this evening, I'll probably end fairly quickly here, and hello, Percy. Yeah, probably end fairly quickly here, and then we can this way. Pick it up this evening. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow, lots of make some decisions in between. Okay, can you? You in here? Nope, you cannot. Okay. Fake it. Yep, that'll work. See, knew there was a reason I made extra feet. You know, logic and all that. Hey, buddy. These guys don't have any names either. My aunt. Oh, you. You need this for a second. Sorry, buddy. You can have it back. I can get you back in your shell. So yep, I'm just going to get this piece put back. It's bugging me. Come on, I need this. It actually goes on the horse that I want to ride, because that gold-colored one is terrible for speed. There we are. All right. So this is what we've got, and I think I'm going to leave it here. Let's take a quick look and see who else we have that might be live at the moment, or going live fairly shortly. Let's see. It is Wednesday, therefore it shall be... It's Wednesday, so we are going to join ourselves into Maribel Jade and give her our best. She appears to be having a truly bedrock day, having a draining day. So she's using sponges and draining parts of the ocean. I think actually... Yes, we are going to go into Maribel Jade. Okay. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you very much for the stream. And thank you very much for Tiz for dropping by. I apologize for not saying hello to you earlier. And yeah, if you guys are interested, the next stream this evening, you're going to see this in, I think, do I have next stream up down here? No, I do not. Ha. Okay, well, next stream this evening is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and we will be back working on the interior part of the castle. So I will see you guys. Have yourselves a great day, and we're just going to start the raid to Maribel Jade, and I'll finish off with thank yous.
Mischief managed.
There we go. All right. So thank you to Fantastic Sherlock Fox and to Benson, as well as to Yellow and Darwy and Tiz for dropping by. We also had Swanky Potato in for a little while. I think I've covered everybody off. Oh, and Neon. We can't forget Neon. So if there's anyone who was hanging out and lurking who I didn't mention, I appreciate you very much. And do remember to spread the kindness and the joy and tell people that bullying is not allowed and not accepted. So, have yourselves a great day. I will see you in Jade's stream. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.